tonight is at 8:09. Plag Mincha will be 6:40. Zman Mincha will be 8:20. Uh, Now for a brief Devar Torah. As we know, this this parsha is the end of Sefer Bamidbar, the book of Numbers. The Jews are now across the Jordan from Jericho. This book ends a few days actually before we enter the land, or a few days before Moshe dies, rather. The book of Devarim, or Deuteronomy, which we'll start reading next week, is Moses' last speech to the people. Moshe's last speech, his last admonitions to the people. And Sefer Bamidbar, or the book of Numbers, ends with delineating the borders of the land and the information to the Jews that you will settle the land. And that God intends this is going to be your permanent home. You are going to be settling it. Everything you've learned up to now, you're going to be putting into practice. You know, the time that we were in Sinai, that was a sojourn. We're going from place to place. And God is basically teaching us that this is how I want you to set up society. Now that you've gone through college, through graduate school, if you will, you're going to put everything into practice. And if you don't do the right job, you will lose. If you're not going to be deserving of it. As we're in the 3 weeks, we lost the temple not because the Romans or the Babylonians were more powerful. God could have taken care of them. God is more powerful than the Romans and the Babylonians, etc. He's more powerful than the United States, for that matter. The thing is are we deserving of God's protection? Are we doing the right thing? And in dividing the land, it's stressed that how we behave towards one another. Remember that the real lesson of the 3 weeks, the reason that the Beit HaMikdash, the temple, was destroyed, wasn't because of a lack of faith on our part. It was because we are mistreating each other. God finds it abhorrent when we mistreat the widow, the orphan, etc. If we don't believe in God, he says, I'm God. I can take care of that. That's not as big. But if you mistreat somebody who's helpless, you mistreat and cheat, etc., each other, that is unacceptable. So basically, this is getting us geared up that when we settle the land, we will know how to behave one to the other. And it talks about boundaries because boundaries are important. Property rights are very important in all this. But this is all something to think about. Kaddish to Rabbanim.